What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I am your host, Robert, and today, very excited to finally talk about this series called Mission Yozakura Family. Now, so far, I have read chapters 1 through 25, but before I get to that, the usual housekeeping stuff. First off, rocking my little Bartman shirt. And as always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you thought of the video, and also go subscribe to the podcast as well on all streaming services. So, like I said, here to talk about Mission Yozakura Family. Still trying to get used to saying that name. So I guess just real quick. So this series, it's one that has kind of gotten on my radar a lot more recently, especially since I started podcasting and talking to more people. Because honestly, at first, the the general cover art and description that they have on Shonen Jump did not catch my attention at all. Because I think it just says like romance, obsessed older brother, spies, and I'm like, that does nothing for me. But actually reading it, this series is freaking awesome. So I'm gonna go over just a little bit of general synopsis of the story and stuff before I talk about spoilers and stuff with the first 25 chapters. So just to show this, just so I can kind of do some names and stuff. So and hopefully y'all can see this, maybe not, but there we go. That's better. So redhead here is our MC, Tao Asano, and he gets involved with I guess you can call him like one of the best, if not the best, spy family in the world of the series, the Yozakura family. So just kind of naming off like some of the characters or whatever. So we have the head of the family, the girl with the blue hair, Mutsumi Yozakura. We have the eldest brother, which is also the obsessed one, who is obsessed with protecting his little sister. His name is Kiyochiro. Girl with the white hair, Futaba. She's a kind of like a martial arts expert. We have Shinzo, who is the green-haired guy. He is obsessed with weaponry. Big guy back here. Oops, sorry, trying to point. Big guy back here. That's Nanao. He's kind of like the medical specialist of the family. And let's see, who haven't I gotten to? Pink hair, Shion. She's kind of the tech / hacker of the group. And then last but not least, we have Kango, who is kind of like the master of disguise. And everybody, except for the MC, everybody in this photo, they're all siblings, so brothers and sisters. So, like I said, the general premise is the main character, Tao, assuming I'm pronouncing that right, he gets basically kind of like roped into some crazy shenanigans and stuff with this family, which like I said, I'll talk about more in a bit. But that kind of leads him to being on a mission to protect the head of the family, Mitsumi. So sorry, I'm keeping my glasses off because freaking ring light is so bright. It's like reflecting off my glasses, and so kind of hard to read and stuff as well. But anywho, so I guess like off the bat, and I'm gonna do a separate video on this later once I read more of the series. But one thing I want to immediately say is, if you are a fan of Spy Family, check out the series, read it, because that is what initially got my interest with the series. Was I had watched somebody who did a video essay on Spy Family a while back that I watched some months back, and during the discussion, they ended up mentioning this series, Mission Yozakura Family, and I was like, huh. And then I was hearing people saying that there are some similarities. It's not a one-to-one, but as far as like dealing with spies and some just like general hijinks and stuff, It's awesome. It's super fun. So, like I said, off of that alone, if you enjoy Spy Family and you haven't read this one, go check it out immediately. Big recommendation on that. So, so just like I said, just still speaking in general before I get to specifics, I have really been enjoying, I guess, like the mix of the comedy moments. Um, every time there's a new character introduced, it's always a big question mark. Like, man, okay, like what is this character gonna be about, and all this stuff, and even just like fun stuff. Like there's like this like spy magazine, and so a lot of other spies and assassins and stuff that they come across, the MC or whoever be like, oh, they were featured in, Spy Weekly, and they specialize in XYZ type of stuff. So yeah, so overall, yeah, it's really fun, really enjoyable, and it has tons of great action. That is definitely one thing that I love and enjoy about this series, is like there's so many cool gadgets and fights and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of spy and espionage and want a little bit of comedy with some really good action, then like I said, this series is definitely one to check out. So like I said, definitely go check out the series. It's on Shonen Jump and Viz. So yeah, go check it out. It is currently at, I think, 91 chapters. So my initial goal was to check this out in the lead up to chapter 100. And so I'm very glad I started, because I'm itching to go back, but I wanted to pause and just kind of start documenting my thoughts and stuff. So now I'm about to transition to like more specifics and spoilers and stuff with the series. So if you don't want no actual spoilers, leave the video. But let's move on. So yeah, so basically like the main premise with the MC, kind of for like several years, kind of like being isolated, not really talking to people, and then us finding out it was because his whole family got wiped out. His mom, dad, and his sister in a car accident. He's the only one that survived. But the head of the Yozakura family, her kind of being like his only friend for a long time, was really sweet. And especially when we found out a little bit later on, that she lost her mother and stuff, and then it's just her and the siblings growing up, and that she's kind of gone her whole life as the next head of the family, the 10th head of the family, just constantly being hunted by assassins and other spies and all that stuff. So kind of first off, I enjoyed the first chapter, but I think it was definitely when Asano, the main character, when he started getting roped into more in depth with the family and having to marry the head of the family in order to kind of like keep the older brother from, basically trying to kill him and stuff. Now, I really enjoyed, I think it was like chapter 3 or 4, where he was going through the training with a lot of the other family members around the house, and they were kind of like, hey, okay, you want to, he wanted to get some more training so that he can better protect her. And so the other family members and stuff, them, kind of coming through and being like, all right, well, basically kind of doing like a trial where it's like, okay, you're going to live here for a month. Survive this month, then we'll train you for real. And just, I enjoyed the way that chapter or those chapters were structured, where it was detailed enough, but also brisk enough, so it wasn't like, like 5+ chapters of us watching him over the course of a month survive this house. It was just like, no, hey, they're explaining stuff fastly, but in a way to where you really understand and grasp what's really going on. And so just seeing him, just seemingly just a normal dude, slowly start to learn and adapt and get better, to the point to where, those skills he's been learning at the house translated to his everyday life. Because like that first chapter, I think it was like chapter 3 or 4, where he's just walking at school and a random baseball comes flying at him, and then he just reaches back and grabs it without even looking at it. And it's like, okay, he's starting to show these like superhuman feats. Like this big dude at school was falling down the stairs, and he just one hand grabs him and holds him up. And yeah, that was just really cool. Just like, okay, a normal dude is starting to slowly acclimate and get used to this family and this lifestyle. And then from there, yeah, it was just steady escalation. I enjoyed all the different chapters we got with each of these siblings, kind of like getting to see Asano go out on different missions and stuff with them. So that was kind of like a nice, fun way to, to see the MC grow, but then also get to start to learn more about the other members of the family and their dynamics and their personalities and what their kind of like specialties and stuff are. So yeah, so that stuff has just been like just really cool, just seeing all the different family members work separately and also whenever they have to come together. One of the first big villains they had to fight was the kind of like the guy that was like the flower guy. That was a really cool and really fun fight, and just kind of like one of those early reminders for the MC of like, hey, just because you've been doing okay, you are still a noob when it comes to this world of spies and assassins and stuff, because the way he just pretty much got kidnapped and taken hostage just like that, and then him kind of getting overpowered pretty easily there, as well as like later on with the I can't remember the family. Hold on, let me check real quick. The Hinagiku family, dealing with them and stuff as well. Um, yeah, it would just kind of like say like it's good to like, okay, like the MC is getting better, but also just showing like, hey, he's just not instantly becoming super OP. He is encountering these villains to where some of them he ends up, you know, defeating or at least kind of like stopping for the time being, but none of those fights and stuff were easy by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, so like I said, the flower dude, and then Sui, the guy from the family I just mentioned, or the organization, the government spies and stuff. Yeah, it's just like really cool just seeing Asano just like reaching these different roadblocks and challenging enemies and stuff. But also along the way, he is earning the respect of other spies in the broader world and stuff, to where basically like his name is getting out there and he's making a name for himself. So yeah, so all that stuff has been like super cool to see, just him just slowly learn and grow and adapt and stuff, and just showing just like his unwavering dedication to the head of the family and protecting her and doing everything he can to learn and grow, but also showing that he does have his own morals and ideals as well. So yeah, overall, like I said, I've been really enjoying it. The last few chapters that I read leading up to chapter 25, as we kind of like start to slowly unravel more background on Asano, and we started getting a hint and this was the cover of chapter 25, looked freaking awesome and beastly, but just kind of starting to get some teases that like, hey, maybe what happened with his family in the car crash was not an accident and stuff. So and that's honestly like where the end of this chapter left off. So I figured I was like, that's a good place for me to kind of pause for a moment. But yeah, oh, and this dude Sui, I'm like immediately really liking him, the way he is just doing these like super cool badass moves, and he's just like, I can't remember like what the technique is called. I think it's kind of like stepping on flowers, where he's just like slowly weaving in and out through people and stuff, but he's moving silently. Yeah, just the way he moves, just the way a lot of characters move, is super awesome. Like I mentioned earlier, seeing a lot of the different weapons and gadgets that the Yozakura family have. I really love like the little like electric gun that he gets pretty early on, and he's been using pretty frequently and stuff. And speaking of the gadgets and just the main character, it's also been cool just seeing like his growth even in these 25 chapters of he is steadily learning, growing, getting better at his different techniques and stuff, and just seeing that there was one fight he had recently or in the chapters I was reading, where he was pulling out techniques and stuff that he learned from everybody. He was like, all right, I used the steel wire to like cut up his gun, using the martial arts techniques from Fubata to take him down, using the fake armored skin that he got from I think it's a Kengo, got from Kengo and stuff. So but it's been super fun, super awesome. Like I said, it is definitely a series worth checking out, one that I am going to jump right back in as soon as I finish with this video and stuff. But so I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I guess the last thing I want to mention as well, like the wedding was also really funny and cool. Just like all these big name spies and stuff coming to to honor them on their wedding day, but also to test Asano for him to prove like, okay, hey, you coming into this lifestyle, or you gonna be somebody that we can depend on, not only to to protect the head of the family, but also if we have to do any missions and stuff, will you be dependable and stuff as well there. So but anywho, like I said, I'm just kind of stopping there because I'm gonna be talking about this a lot more as I make my way through the series in the lead up to catching up in time for whenever they hit chapter 100 in the next month or so. So as always, like I said at the top, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. Let me know if you are also reading the series and what you think of it. Please try to avoid spoilers for stuff past where I'm reading right now. And like I said, also go check out the podcast as well. So like I said, it's on Spotify, Apple, Google, pretty much every streaming service you can find a podcast. You can find me and Dad Needs to Talk. And so I hope y'all all have an awesome day. I'm about to go read some more Mission Yozakura Family, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye and peace.